filled with gratitude, you just rewired your brain. So I ask you, is today the day you've had enough? Is today the day you say, I am more than my own story. I am my own creation. I choose more. I choose greatness. I choose greatness. I choose greatness.
Good morning.
You just rewired.
Good morning.
You need to stop shaking your brain.
Hope you are amazing.
And that shaking in your brain is called self-talk.
Let me get that
Will it kill me? The saber-toothed tiger.
conversation down.
Recognize the pattern. You're about to break the pattern.
Breaking the pattern. Hey, good morning. Hey, we are still on Lamb Watch 2026. Yeah, she is bigger than a house, Nola. So it's been every 2 hours popping up, checking the cameras for she's not moving around. There's some indicators that usually give you about 45 minutes. They usually do have a routine of pawing at the ground and getting down, getting back up, getting down, but getting back up. So the good news is that if she makes it through the next few hours without child, without lamb, the very cold temperatures will be over. It's 26 here now. So that's kind of chilly for a newborn, right? Coming out of the body. Anyways, that's the story there. My conversation with you this morning, good morning, is let's talk about how do we understand what it really takes to rewire the brain, right? So we talk about pattern interrupting. We talk about all of these things. Let me just do one more thing here in case some more folks jump in. I can catch you. So I'm not just looking at my notes. There we go. I want to ask a question. It sounds like science fiction, right? What is your daily reality, right? What decides your daily reality? Who's holding the chisel to your brain right now and deciding what you're going to think about today? Most of us treat our minds like software. We think if we read a positive book, we've updated our system. Not so true, right? If I add a program to my computer, depending upon what the program does, it asks if it can have access to my running program, to the operating system. When you read a book, unless you are intentionally stating it, writing out a little 3x5 card that says, I allow this book to upgrade my hardware. It's just software that's osmosisly, I doubt that's a word, right? By osmosis, simply because you read it, we think we understand it. It doesn't work that way. Most of us treat our minds like software. We think if we read that positive book, we've updated the system. But you guys know I don't like the word but. This is an okay place to use it because it negates what was previously said. Here's the biological truth. Your brain is not a computer. It is a living thing, a breathing piece of hardware. And right now, many of us are trying to run it a high performance, are trying to run it like a high performance 20-year-old instead of rusted out hardware. Are you saying my brain is old? No, I'm saying your programming is old. I'm saying you're running on Windows 96. You haven't even made it to Windows 98 yet. For those of you that are old enough, you'll understand that saying. You haven't updated your software so it can update your hardware. Every time you say, I'm not a morning person, I'm not good with money, this always happens to me, you aren't just saying the words. You are physically carving a canyon into your neural tissue, and you're hardening the hardware of failure. This always happens to me. Why does this always happen to me? I'm such a loser. This is why, listen, you're not a negative person. You think positively. You have positive thoughts. Why doesn't that override your lack of discipline, your lack of desire, your lack of willpower? This is why positive thinking fails. You can't run 2026 software, social media, hardware, all of these things. You can't run 2026 software on 1998 hardware. I'm going to show you how to use the NESS program, neuroenergetic self-sculpting, to physically upgrade the machine. So, what if I could explain to you the what, the when, the how, the why this tool works? See, to change hardware, we have to understand the NESS sculpting method. It comes down to the 4 variables: the what, the when, the how, and the why. The what is the linguistic command. What are you actually saying? We know that words have power. We know that words have meaning. And we know that tone behind the words literally have significance. Most people speak in self-restricting language. Think about it. Listen just for a second. You say, I'll try to get it done. In the hardware of your brain, the try command is to fail. It creates a neural loop of uncertainty. In NESS, we replace what? We say we use neural commands. We move from I hope to I am. We move from it's hard to I'm in the process of mastering it. Just say right now, let's just use these 2 phrases. Say it's hard and say I'm in the process of mastering this. Does one of those feel better to you? We haven't even identified it or targeted towards a particular task or outcome or goal. It's just there. Cadillac in the house. Good morning, Cadillac. So if we can just, in a conversation, if your body feels different, this is the neuro encoding, right? NESS, neuroenergetic self-sculpting. Doesn't it energetically feel different when you say it's hard versus I'm in the process of mastering this? Doesn't it feel better? So that's the what, the linguistic command. The when, right? This is the window of plasticity. Hardware is the easiest thing to change when it's hot. Wait, what? Hardware is the easiest thing to change when it's hot. The best time to sculpt is the correction protocol. That's the exact moment. The correction protocol exists in the exact moment when a negative thought occurs. Now, for many of us, if we start to become aware of us having negative thoughts, we might become very busy very quickly. See, if you wait until tomorrow to think positive, the hardware is already cooled and hardened. We must sculpt in the moment of the trigger. Let me give you an example. Somebody cut you off in traffic. Oh my God, they almost hit me. And then you go into your pre-programmed response to when somebody cuts you off in traffic. If you drive a lot, you've got a pre-programmed response. If somebody on social media responds, if you're kind of an instigator or you are a outlier with your messaging, or maybe you don't even put up the message because you're afraid nobody's going to like it, that's a correction protocol moment. What is the correction protocol? It's any moment where you realize you are triggering off of your centerness of awareness and tipping the scales one way or the other. You can correct, you can continue to advance good protocol. Oh my gosh, somebody liked my stuff. I'm going to send them a thank you. That increases the signal of that particular good feeling. We'll get more into that. My point is that the when is when you have an opportunity of plasticity in the brain, and it's when you're in a moment of heated argument with yourself. Ah, you're so stupid. You know what I'm talking about? So that's number 2. Number 3 is the how. I want you to write this down. How equals human. People ask how all the time. Give me strategy, give me strategy, give me technique, give me this. What they've sometimes fall short in understanding is that when you ask a how question, you are literally asking, how do I change? Teach me how to change. And most people aren't up for change. So how is the energetic frequency? This is what NESS does. It uses a particular energetic frequency to help you resculpt who you are. So this is the energetic and neuroenergetic self-sculpting. If you say the right words, listen carefully, if you say the right words, yet your body is in a state of fear, the hardware doesn't update. You have to match the word to the vibrational frequency. Right? You know the phrase in personal development, they talk, if you see it, believe it, you can achieve it. If you see it, visualization, believe it, the frequency, you can achieve it. It's critical for you to match the word to the vibrational frequency. You have to feel the self-confidence formula in your chest, in your cells, not just in your head. So the what is the linguistic command? The when is the window of plasticity. When are you at most flexibility to adjust and adapt your language, to rewire your settings? And then the energetic frequency is the how, that's number 3. And the why? Why does your brain bother to change? For the most part, the majority of the people, the only reason the brain allows adaptation is for survival. It's not for thriving. How do I know this? Well, just look around. Look at the people in your world. It's just science. It's just psychology. Is there anyone in your world who tells you they're struggling? They feel that they could earn a lot more, they could be worth a lot more, they could have a lot more, and yet they're not. There's how many people do you know, you absolutely know they're capable of more. You're like, oh, man, this would be so good for them if they just applied themselves, if they just used themselves, if they just filled in the blank. The why is your definite major purpose. So why does the brain change? Only for survival. Or there's an opposite, right? We live in this binary world. If I say up, you say down. If I say in, you say out. If I say hot, you say cold. Survival or thriving, and the way that you can get the brain to change to thrive is called a definite major purpose. And the reason the definite major purpose works is because it's not only for you. Most goals we set, we make them very myopic, very only for me. We say they're for others, yet we don't believe it, because if we did, we'd wind up doing more of our activities. I want to take care of my kids. So how could you not take care of your kids yesterday? I want to take care of my mom or my dad. How could you not take care of them yesterday? It's because the thing you thought you were doing for them, you have a story that runs in your brain, a programming that runs in your brain that says, oh, this is just for me, and that's being selfish. See, if you don't have a clear why, your brain will default to its old energy saving hardware. Imagine this. So this visual just came in. I deal a lot in pictures in my mind. When you set your definite major purpose, it is exactly the responses you get from those around you are as if when you were little, and if you had air conditioning growing up and you left the door open, or you're standing in front of the refrigerator looking inside, somebody goes, "Would you close the door? What do you want? You're letting all the cold air out," right? That's what you need. You have to have an awareness shift that you are doing something that the brain doesn't like. Your brain will default to its old energy saving hardware. Your why is the heat, right? Remember window of plasticity. When's the best time for the correction protocol? When your brain is hot, when it's doing something different, when it's moving into, I have to survive this. Your why is the heat that makes the hardware pliable. Otherwise, it's just the old grooves. So here's the science of upgrade. Let me talk to you about how do you right now, where you're at, begin your upgrade. Why is this a must? Why is using a protocol, a process, a formula, right? We all want the success formula. Put your post down, do your memes, follow up, follow up, follow up. Well, this is the same process to upgrade your brain through neuro, brain thinking, energetic, frequency, self. You have to do it yourself because you don't like to be told what to do. Sculpting. Why is this a must? Because of a substance called myelin. This is a coating. Myelin is a high-speed insulation for your brain's wiring. It's literally, you can Google it after this call. Myelin, M-Y-E-L-I-N. It's literally an insulation around your synaptic nerves. When you repeat a negative thought, your brain wraps it in myelin so it can travel faster. When you have a positive thought, your brain wraps that neurosynaptic connection in myelin in a positive state. It's why, listen carefully, it's why when you smell that smell of your childhood that makes you feel good or get scared, that's why it can instantly trigger a feeling in your body. It's why you can smell a perfume you haven't smelled in a decade, and it makes you think of your first romantic relationship or somebody special, maybe your mom. It's why you can taste a food of your childhood and it brings you right back to when you were sitting at the counter, sitting at your grandma's house. The reason that exists is because that thought, that signal was wrapped in myelin, allowing you to process it faster. Eventually, your self-restruction, your self-creation, or your self-restriction, the negative thought, becomes a reflex. It becomes automated hardware. NESS is the process of demyelinating the old and remyelinating the new. One of the things I do when I deal with folks who have been through some pretty severe trauma in their life is I take them back through a very simple process. About 45 minutes, I can help you rewire some of the most dramatic, traumatic moments of your world. And it's not me. It's simply this. We demyelinate a particular story that you have running in your head, and you've had it running for an hour or 10 decades. Maybe it was passed down to you, and we remyelinate it. We wrap a new feeling, we wrap a new understanding around that particular situation. We give it a new story. And every time you use the correction protocol, You're literally stripping the insulation off of the failure wire and wrapping it around the success wire. You're physically building a faster brain for the life you want. I need you to hear that again. What would it mean if you could build a faster brain to get you more of what you want and less of what you don't? That's the only thing you have. It's not your programming. It's not another event. It's not another training. It's not another book, because all of that is going into the brain, the hardware that is causing you to stall, that is causing you to struggle. It's not social media that's causing you to struggle. It's not your business model that's causing you to struggle. It is your brain that is causing you to struggle. And when you become aware of that, when you wake up to that, you will ask, how do I get a faster brain to move me closer? And it's through the NESS program, Neuro Energetic Self-Sculpting. So, what if we took you through your first sculpting assignment? Just for the next 24 hours. You've got many days and months and years ahead of you. What if you just gave yourself a 24-hour window? What if you wanted to act as a linguistic auditor? Every time you catch yourself using self-restricting implementation, because every time you say, I don't have enough, or I'm not enough, or I don't have enough money, or I don't have anything you say that is not positive and fruitfully bringing you value, you are setting up your self-restricting. You're digging that groove into your brain deeper and deeper. And that's why it's harder to get unstuck. So for the next 24 hours, every time you use this self-restricting conversation, don't judge it. Just identify it as a rough stone, a hiccup. Isn't that fascinating? Well, that's a brick I don't need to pick up. Then use your chisel, reframe it immediately using a high frequency neural command. You have control over your brain. Listen, do me a favor. Just raise your right hand if you can safely do that and you're not operating or doing anything, right? Diffusing a bomb. Just raise your right hand. Do you realize you just gave your body a neuro command? I asked you to raise your right hand. Me asking you to raise your right hand did not raise your right hand. Do you understand that? You had to tell your body to do it. This is the neuro encoding. You tell your body when you need to go make a sales call, when you need to go follow up, your body has to go do something. You lack the neural command to say follow up, to say ask for more, to say fill in the blank. It's simply a neural command you're not having. So just for the next 24 hours, you're not a victim of your past. You're a victim of not being aware. You're not a victim of your biology. I'm fat. My mom was fat. That's not that. No. I'm poor. My parents were poor. No. I'm not smart because my parents were. No, you're not a victim of your biology. That's a story you accepted. You're not a victim of your past. You're not a victim of your biology. You are the sculptor. You're the stone and you're the chisel, all in the same millisecond. You decide what your success, what your life looks like. When you speak it, you're also the stone. You are the result of what the sculptor sees. And you are the chisel that has chiseled you to this level of success in any one of the areas you want to choose success in. There's people who are overweight, who have lost weight and then put it back. Lost weight, put it back. They were the sculptor. They said they wanted to do it. They were the stone. They chiseled off the weight, but they weren't able to keep it. because they didn't want to hold on to the chisel. They didn't want to keep doing the things. They didn't have the new story that said, this is who I am. It's time to stop running old hardware. It's time to sculpt. It's time to stop being reactive and start being proactive. So that's my conversation for you this morning. If you want to learn more about the NESS program as the founder and the creator of it, is it anything special? It's simply a new syntax. It's 1,000-year-old technology, simply put into a modern day conversation so that you can use it, you can understand it, you can perform it, you can begin to work with it immediately. I gave you the foundational basis for it. If you did that for the next week, when your brain is hot, when your emotions are high and you're wanting to beat yourself up, that is the perfect time to realize that you are sculpting that language. I can promise you the environment that created you, that triggered you to say that, it's not the environment's fault. It's your possibility. It's your program. Because I promise you, I could sit right next to you in a movie and a scene play on the screen, and you'd be like, oh, that's cool. And I might be, I don't particularly like that. Or vice versa. I go, oh, that's so cool. And you're like, I don't like that. I don't like the shooting. I don't like the this. That's too much action. We're watching the same thing. We all have our, what Joe Dispenza says, when the personal reality makes up our personality. Or you can decide today, using the NESS protocol, that when you have a moment that is less than joyful for you, you have to become aware of it. You get to become aware of it. And then you simply say, who benefits from me staying in that state? What would be the new story? See, we have to then literally think of what the new programming would be. I can guarantee you it's probably the law of opposites. I'm so stupid. You know what? I'm excited to figure out what the next level to this might be. Takes all the pressure off, and it allows the brain to now look and seek and search for new ways to serve you, to bring you solutions you've never had before. Because that's what you need for your next level. You need solutions you've never had before. You don't need more training. You don't need more hardware upgrades. You don't need all of this stuff. You need to have your brain aware that the solutions to your next level you've not seen before. Because the moment you say, I know that, the brain shuts off and doesn't have to go look for it. That's one of the biggest limiting, self-restricting beliefs that cause us to stay stuck. I know that. I know what I need to do. No, you don't. Because if you did, you'd be doing it. I'm your head brain training, brain scrambling misfit, wishing you a better day and instituting your neuro upgrade. I'll see y'all where? I'll see you at the next event. Thanks, YouTube. Love you tons. Bye for now. Hey, Misfits. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Questions, comments?